Today we're going to look at the Konflikt 47 starter set for the British. Okay, so it's all plastic wrapped, so that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Now, in here it says on the front that you should get softback rulebook of Guardian Light Walker, whatever that is, a version of a Cromwell tank, British infantry, and some automated infantry, and also a few bits and bobs to actually play the game. So once we open it up, we get a miniature. That is actually really mini. Anyway, yes, there's a miniature version of the Konflikt 47 rulebook. As far as I'm aware, this contains all of the information that the hardback one does. As you can see, it was actually, I mean, a lot of smaller pocket size, shall we say, rulebooks, you actually don't get the fluff and the history, but in here you actually get the timelines. It looks like you get the timelines and things, but we'll have to have a more detailed look at that. Now, separating that from the actual plastic is a play sheet. So, okay, so this is actually a reference sheet. I believe they had something like this in the back of the bolt action rulebook. So this is kind of Warlord's thing, isn't it? Have some reference tables and charts, but it's really handy to have it in a separate bit of card. Chop it down. Oh, there's even a rulebook. Not a rulebook, a ruler. Now, I'd probably recommend that you get a proper measuring implement. So I remember the other another company's Games Workshop starter sets used to come with those plastic sticks. I think I've got a few around here somewhere, but they always used to bend, and you could never use them past the first, I don't know, half a dozen games. So it's best to get your measuring stick, as it were. Now, in here we have several things. What's that? Oh, that is right. Okay, so what we've got, we have some order dice and some funky small wide dice. Yeah, so that does exactly what it says in the tin. We have it's packed for you by Mirella. Thank you very much. Let's hope it's all here. Right, okay, so what we've got here, we have to start off with the basic things. Now, these are the infantry, British infantry. Now, these share a sprue with the commandos. I think the main difference is the fact that these don't come with the berets, or the backpacks are different. Yes, so the backpacks are different, and they don't come with the berets. Apart from that, I think they come with the same gun selection. Yes, it's the same British gun sprue, but the actual infantry body sprue is slightly different because of the hat. So yeah, but I mean, there you get 20 men. It's 5 per sprue. Again, and that's what the Warlord's been producing for quite a while. Right. So what we here. Okay, so this is the tank. This is Cromwell tank. I believe this is Italian. It's their normal supplier of plastic. I can't open it. There we go. So well packed. Can't get access to it. Right, okay, there we are. So what we have here, there are 2 sprues. Now, as you can see, you've got your hull, your top part of your hull, and your main particle hole there with your tracks. There are some, they look like tow hooks and things like that. And that's all that's on there. Now, on the other sprue, you do get your wheels, tank commander, and you get the turret. Now, that helps with the fact that you could use this with the bolt action game, and with, I'm assuming, the turret for the Tesla comes separately. Probably a resin on here. So you can swap it out and use it for the bolt action game as well. Okay, so let's have a see if we can find the turret. That's not the turret. Nah, that must be the turret. There it is. Yeah, that's the turret. Ah, yes, there we go. Now here's the Cromwell turret. See? Now, as you can see, it's slight. I've seen some reviews of the American box set, and the actual bit at the back, this bit here, comes separate. But they've managed to. That's pretty. That's pretty good for a resin cast. Though there are a few bits you have to cut off and neaten up, but overall that's pretty good. And it comes with a metal hatch to go in the turret there, so you can interchange it for, like I say, for bolt action, which I might be doing because, like I say, I do play bolt action as well. So let's go for another weird world war. Now, okay, so this is the Guardian Walker, which, again, I don't think is much different to the Kodiak Walker. No Kodiak? Well, the Walker that comes with the US box. And as you can see, it's quite a good sculpt. Not very much flash, or there's a little bit of flash at the bottom actually, right there. But you can't be perfect all the time. And you got some couple of legs. Again, you got your feeder bits that you need to cut off for your resin, and there's a mould line there which you need to cut off. Remember, when you're filing or sanding resin, you probably best to wear a mask. You don't want to breathe in all those resin particles. And then you've got, obviously, you got your two arms. You got your hands to go on your arms there, and they all look pretty good quality sculpts. And then you get your 50 cal. And I believe this is a light machine gun, or a 30 cal or medium machine gun, something like that. And then the thing that separates the American one from the British one is the fact that there's a flamethrower on it, and that is the flamethrower. So that is the Walker. Now, what else is here? Now, these are the bits, more Weird World War bits. Now, these are the bits I really like the look of, and these are the automatons. Yeah, now these automatons, you get loads of them. Look at all that. So you should have 5 bodies. Yes, 5 bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, they are metal. They're not resin. And I think, are they all the same? They look to be all the same. So there's not big variation in the bodies, but that's not the only place you can vary. You've got a number of heads. Here we have 6 heads. I think there's only 5 guys, so we have 6 heads. So I don't think there's any difference in them. No, there's no difference in them. They're just all the same. So that's the heads. And then you come with some legs. And they come in pairs. Oh, excuse me, I got a bit of a sore throat. Right. So yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of legs. End up with 2 of those types, and 2 of those types, and 1 of them. Yeah, 1 pair of them. So
yeah, they look pretty. There's quite a lot of flash to take off bottom for the metal, which is easily done. It's not a problem. You have to go through and clean it all up. Apart from that, no, they look quite good. But obviously, just be careful. You don't want to take off any of the detail when you're cleaning up. Now, these ones consist of 1
HMG, which is this one. That's the gun, and 4 MMGs. Now the HMG comes with a attached ammo bin on it, while the MMGs come with these little belts to actually glue in, so they look quite cool. Yeah, there we go. As you can see there, they've got the HMG there with the ammo bin and the MMGs with belts on. So they're the weapons that they're armed with. Now they've got these. They come with some arms, obviously. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's enough arms, obviously, for 2 each. There's no additional spare arms, so you can't mix and match. You probably could mix and match between, but it'll be harder to line them up. But there aren't any additional arms to make a lot of variation. But nothing but a bit of creativity won't solve.
Let's see what else. So that's the automatons. Let's see what else there is. Blast markers. Now, the box also comes with a set of blast markers. Okay, these are originally from Gates of Antares, I believe. Now, each one does actually. I'm not sure if you can see it there. You can just see it on the actual blast marker there, the little numbers. Now each blast marker, well, pin counter, shall we say? They cannot blast. They're to mark pins on units. So each pin actually can be counted up to 12 on this. Now, a lot of people just use one marker for 1 pin. Now this is quite acceptable. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but each marker can count up to 12 pins. So there's a standard product from Warlord Games. They're functional, they're useful, and they do, like I say, they do come with other games like Gates of Antares, which no doubt I play that as well. So no doubt we will be doing a I'll be doing a talk on that at some point. Yep. Okay. So the last bits that come in the box are transfers. You've got one of their armoured decal sheets, and then you got general vehicle decals. Oh, there we go. Yeah, general vehicle decals and British decal sheet. I think the British one is for Cromwell, and the general is for the Kodiak. If you like, if you found this if you found this video useful, then hit the subscribe button. If you want me to do more, just say. Remember, this is mainly been done for my progression from bolt action into Konflikt 47, and I'll be doing more videos as I go on. I've got some more automatons, which I'll probably do an unboxing video once I've assembled all of these, and I've got the Resurgence and the other book. I forgot what the other book's called. Anyway, I've got the 2 expansion books as well, which I'll be looking at, and I'll be looking at the rule book as well. And hopefully, once I've done all that, I'll be able to get a few games in and hopefully get some battle reports and things online as well. But like I say, this is for fun.
Okay, so as in summary of the Konflikt 47 British Army set, it's an A5 softback in there for the rulebook. It's a gamer's edition. It fits nicely in your bag. It's easy to carry around, and it's one step to get away from this library in a bag for gaming, wargaming. Now the next one is the Guardian Lightwalker. The resin was good, the casting was good. There's 1 or 2 little blemishes, but nothing major. Just be careful when you're filing or shaving it down. You don't want to breathe in any dust. It went together quite easily, but again, when you're assembling it, put one leg down where you want to go, let that dry, and then base everything off that leg. It just makes it easier and less fiddly to put together. Cromwell tank, yeah, the tank itself is just a standard plastic kit that they will provide through their third-party company, and it's a standard kit. Yeah, it's a good kit. There are a few niggling issues with it. I tried to put a few things in some of the pilot holes, and the holes weren't there. So you just got to be careful and just pay attention to the instructions. And if there are bits missing or holes missing, you either got to send it back or do a little creative modelling. And the turret itself was fine. It's quite a good cast actually. There was no blemishes. There was a few risers need cutting off, but that's just normal really. The infantry, well, the British infantry are a standard warlord kit. There's not really much else you can say. The only issue I had with it was the gun. The gun and the hands are separate, so you need to glue the arms on to make it in line with the gun. That in itself makes it fiddly, but apart from that, the kit was fine. The automated infantry were a pain. They really were. They're really a pain to put together. So what I recommend is you glue one leg down first, like with the walker. You glue one leg down first, wait till that dries, and then base everything off that leg. So once that's dried, you put the torso and the other leg on in the position you want. You've got to plan what the positions are. I found you couldn't really just make it up. You've got to dry fit it before, so you know what you're doing. Though there was one issue with the MMGs on these. One of the hands holding the MMG actually had a miscast on it. But it wasn't just restricted to one, it was all 4 MMGs, which makes me think there's something wrong, or the tool is getting old. Tooling is getting old. And I mean, this is 4 to 5 years old, so it's bound to happen. It happened with the Gates of Antares stuff I had. I was a bit late joining the Antares show, so So I bought a load of. I ended up buying a load of not plastic metals, and loads of them had a load of miscast models. We're quite happy to replace them, which is good. Some of them were quite bad, very, very bad. So I got replacements, and there was still some miscast on them, but I worked my way around them. But with these, you had to cut off the excess material, and you did lose some detail in the hand. Though one thing I would recommend is making sure you don't run out of accelerant, superglue accelerant, because I did halfway through, and they were a pain to finish putting together. The dice, well, 6-sided dice, they'll get chucked into the box of other 6-sided dice. The order dice, well, yeah, they're order dice. You require them to play the game. I personally have a larger set of a different colour. These are brown, and there's only 6 of them. So unless I buy more, I won't be able to really use them, because normally I have more than 6 units in an army. And the pin markers, the numbers are a bit hard to read on the pin markers. I'm sure everyone's heard that before. I bet none of this in this review video is actually anything new, really, because like I said, again on this, I am a few years late in joining the show, but the pin markers, you can't really see the numbers very well, and though you could still use the pin markers themselves by 1 pin equals 1 pin marker. You need more of them. You do need more of them in that case, but they can be used in that situation. But apart from those minor issues, I think the Konflikt 47 British Army starter set is a good starter set to get into the game. There's lots of opportunities for variation because of the British infantry. Obviously, the Cromwells and the Guardian Light Walker don't have that much variation, and the automated infantry, you can position the limbs in a varying number of poses without doing serious modification to it. If you want really unique, obviously you have to go into the whole modelling and converting and things like that. But apart from that, yeah, it's a good set, and it's well worth the money to get into it, especially if you need that rulebook, because the rulebook contains the same information as the hardback.
Okay, this is the Konflikt 47 Brit starter set that I've started, and I've assembled it. So here's 9 riflemen. I've only done 9 because I've got a model that came with the bolt action army book. It's a sergeant with a SMG, so he's going to be the sergeant, and that's the rest of his squad. That frees up a guy for the free artillery observer. And then I've decided to assemble into 3 Piat teams. There's one there. There's a loader and the guy with the Piat gun, and then there's another one at the back there. The Piat weapons actually can be assembled in quite a few different ways, so it's quite good with the different bodies. And there's another 3rd Piat. Now you can actually have 4 Piats in the Defiant book on the force organisation chart. So I've actually got a commando version, the Piat version as well. So that's my 4, and that is a sniper and his buddy. These are the automated infantry. Now these can be used as a standard infantry selection, armed with either HMGs or NMGs. And there's the spotter I've put together. He's got a SMG and a pair of binoculars. It's hard to see in see in this light and grey plastic. There is my commander and his buddy with an SMG, and these are that's the Walker, that's the Guardian Walker. I've done a base coat and the green on him. I just need to do the silver because I've started doing the suspension at the back. I just need to do the brass at the suspension at the back, and the blue of the I need to do the blue of the reactor and things like that. So they've still got a way to go though. And this is my Cromwell tank. Again, just started it. So I've done the green main colour and done the silver tracks, and I just need to muddy up the tracks in the sides and the skirts and put the extra colours on. So yes.
A disclaimer: Warlord Games have not provided any of these models or rules free of charge.